Welcome. Welcome to Podium Star. How many people came here for the first time? First time you were at Podium Star? Okay, a lot of you actually. So if you don't know, Podium Star started in 2019. Before Corona, we had 11 events almost every month. And it has been the most popular English pitch event in Korea. So 2019, all offline like this. And then 2020, of course, we moved online. Did anyone join online before? Okay, everybody, great. Okay, well, we have a lot of new people, that's great. 2021, 2022, we've also had many online events. Of course, more people than on than offline because many people can join. What is Podium Star? So we want to be different from the other pitch events. Most pitch events, the startups come on stage, they pitch, they go home, finished. It's kind of boring, right? We want to actually help the startups more. So at Podium Star, every startup gets mentoring on pitching from an expert, all right? And then we invite judges who sometimes invest in the startups. Okay, so these are real people who really do invest. They're not fake judges at like other events, all right? And then another cool thing is we want you to also participate, you the audience. So you also get to vote. So there's 3 judges, but there's actually 4 judges. You are the 4th judge, okay? So I'll explain that more in a little bit. But Podium Stars has had a lot of success. We have helped startups raise funds and even exit before through this event. So we're really proud about that. So thank you for coming. And yeah, let's get started. Here is the timetable. So as you can see, we're going to introduce the startups and judges first. We're then going to have a panel talk with the judges on Web3. The startups will then pitch. Then you will vote. We will announce the winner. And then we will have pizza. So if you don't like pizza, I'm sorry. We don't have other food. We only have pizza. Who likes pizza? Okay, good, good. Okay, we chose well. All right. So you can leave at any time, but I recommend staying for the pizza. You know, networking is really good because you're here to network. When is the last time you networked? Maybe recently or maybe 2019, right? It's really difficult to network. So, all right, without further ado, I have to introduce the voting system. So this is what it looks like. When you vote, we will show you a special code that you will use your phone. You will go to the website, and you will vote for your favorite pitch. All right? You can choose 2 of your favorite pitches. You can choose 1 also, but if you really like 2, you can vote 2 times. And you can see the results in real time on your phone. Okay, so it's not fake, it's all real, it's all live. You can only vote within 5 minutes. Then we will turn off the voting. Okay, that's to prevent, you know, some cheating and spamming. Okay, so you have 5 minutes only, and that's that. The winner. We also give an award to the winner. So Draper University is a program in Silicon Valley. The winner will get to go to this program. It's worth $12,000, so they get to join for free. We sent 3 startups in, was it July? I think it was in July. We sent 3 of our startups. They had a great time. We have a blog where we talked about their experience. It's a really great program, though, to meet investors in Silicon Valley and also to learn from them. We also have prizes for you. Okay, so when you first came here, you got this paper, right? Did everyone get a paper? Yeah? If you didn't, please let us know. Okay? You should have a number in the corner, like number 1, 2, 3, 4. We will draw for prizes during the voting time. So when the judges are, you know, voting and there's some, you know, empty time, we will give rewards. AirPods, Galaxy Watch, some speakers. We have what, 6 awards, 7? 7. We have 7 awards, all right? So 7 of you will win, and maybe I will win too. I don't know, hopefully. So don't throw away your slip, okay? Don't throw it away. All right. Here are the startups pitching. We have Funders Guild. We've got Nightingale Interactive, Satoshi Dance, Star Wings, InnovaBlock, and One2. So these are the startups pitching. And that's it for the introduction. All right? So we're now going to have a short panel discussion. Well, I'm not sure how short it's going to be. It depends on how much these guys want to talk. And by the way, if you guys want to get involved and raise your hand and ask questions to the panel, that's fine. Okay? Don't be shy. We're only 50, 60 people inside here, so don't feel too shy. Let's try to make this a very warm environment. All right. So judges, if you guys want to come take a seat. And I think we have microphones, don't we? Yeah. Okay, we're going to get you microphones. So first, let me introduce them one by one. And when I introduce you, if you can just talk a little bit about what you do. We'll start from this side. So first, we've got Dan Kim, who's EIR at Techstars. So Dan, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Dan, entrepreneur in residence at Techstars. Prior to this, I was a operator at a company that got acquired by Essential, which is a UK commerce company. And at Techstars right now, I'm helping GSA, or Global Startup Academy batch of 12 startups. With regards to crypto, I can talk more later, but currently discussing, had some interactions with the founders of Nillion, and also maybe going into an investment with VF Protocol.
Okay. Yes, let's clap for Dan. Yeah, great. Our next judge is Arpad Karali. He is a partner at Capgemini Invent. Arpad.
How many know about Capgemini? More than I expected. How many know about Accenture? Same people. Capgemini Invent. Capgemini is an IT or tech company, 400,000 people worldwide. I'm, as you said, partner for the TMT, so Telecom Media Technologies sector for APAC. What we do is, one, traditional management consulting, including strat work for clients, large corporates, but also innovation. So we have a company named Frog Design. I'm not sure how many of you know about Frog Design, but it's a company that changed the narrative of industrial design from design by function, design by emotion, and other capabilities. But that's pretty much what we do. Emphasis on innovation, emphasis on new tech as well that we bring to our clients.
Thank you very much, Arpad. All right. And our final panel member is Timur Daudpota. He is head of retention at Upland, and he's also a mentor at 500 Global.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Timur. I'm an EIR and mentor at 500. Those of you who don't know 500 Startups, they are the largest seed stage investor in early stage companies. Also, fun fact, they have 51 unicorns now to date, a lot in emerging markets. So when 500 started, a lot of the thesis was that great startups can come from anywhere. On the retention side at Upland, so Upland is a game like Monopoly. Cool thing about Upland is that we have more NFTs in our platform than anywhere else combined. We have also more landowners and monthly active users than Decentraland and Sandbox. If you guys know of the metaverses, when you talk about Decentraland, Metaverse, or Axes, we have more. What is head of retention? So my job is to pretty much make sure anyone that comes in is addicted to the platform and has withdrawal symptoms. So anytime you are opening up your Instagram or TikTok or your YouTube and you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, as somebody that somebody's like me behind that platform. So.
All right, Timur. All right, so the first question is something many of you might also be curious about. What is Web3? some people might be confused. What is Web3? So I want to ask each person one by one, just a very short answer. So we'll start over with Dan first.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, I mean, I'm still learning on a day-to-day basis, but it's essentially the internet that's decentralized, autonomous, and multidimensional. So anything that can be built on those three verticals, then that's within the bucket of Web3.
Okay, Arpad?
He just stole my pitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Same here, still learning, and I don't see myself as expert. I see you guys, particularly the companies going to present or pitch later on today, this evening, as the experts. I would love to hear their definition and also what specific Web3 tech is behind their products and services solutions. Listen, I'm being a consultant from day one, which is pretty much like 23, 24 years ago. Obviously, I have a framework. So I'm looking at Web3. Actually, what I would do is compare Web2 with Web3. So looking at three imperatives. One is the highlights. The second is B models. And the third is infrastructure. Highlights, Web2, of course, it's more closed and it's centralized, aggregated by platforms. Platforms are governing their access. They own the data. Web3, decentralized, open, individuals own the data. So that's one key difference. On B models, Web2, data monetization through adverts, revenue share, or different type of revenue share models. Web3, revenue is actually back to the users, to the owners. Again, emphasis on decentralization. On infrastructure, or maybe on business model too, it's also fully revenue share back to capital contributors and DAOs. On infrastructure, again, it's private code, private data on Web2, public clouds, etc., aggregated services. Web3 completely through open source or open source code, and also public immutable data, where again the users, so the individuals own the functionality, they own the value. So that's my definition.
Thanks
again,
for that short answer. That was amazing.
I took longer time, but again, I'm consultant, right? So
I already knew it. That's fine.
Teamwork.
All right, and Timur, how would you define Web3?
Yeah, I think everybody thinks that I'm an expert in Web3, but I promise you I'm learning as much as you guys are learning on the fly. So Web3 is pretty much anything that's built on these three bases, which is decentralization, we all talked about it, blockchain, and token-based economy. That's your short answer.
Okay, great. Is there anyone else who would like to give a different definition from the audience? Yeah, you're all so shy, right?
I would love to hear that.
Or from the startups. Actually, Arpad wanted to ask the startups, does any one of you have an answer for this? Everyone is so confident right now.
How about we pick somebody in random?
Yeah, I think so.
You guys can choose.
You go ahead, Timur, pick.
Pascal, do you want to talk about what is Web3, baby?
Okay.
I need to get my steps in.
Yeah, I would also compare it with the dawn of the internet in a way. So the first iteration of the internet was very much about reading, whereas the Web 2, the next iteration of the internet, was about, you could say, writing. So you could create content on Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like this. And I would say with this new version of the internet, with Web 3 very much, we take it all towards ownership. You can own your content. You can monetize on your content. You own your data. You could even own your financial account and your, basically your wallet in a way. You can own it. That's the key word, I think.
Okay, and one startup also would like to...
Jonathan, I'm doing your job now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Well, to me, Web3 and blockchain is very interesting space. That's why I chose to be in it. So the first dimension is the decentralization and the use of encryption and tokenomics. These are the three things that really made me interested to build my project on top of Web3 and blockchain.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go ahead and keep on moving to the next question, but thanks for everyone who answered. All right, next one is, let's talk about Korea's Web3 startup ecosystem. I'll start with Dan. Can you think of any applications, Web3 applications in Korea? Specific to Korea, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, at least from the accelerator side, I know that talking to other accelerators that there's a lot of emphasis on gaming, healthcare, fintech. At least at the early stages, we're looking for technical sound proof of concepts or white papers, whether it's identifying market inefficiencies to directly address, or as far as executing against opportunities, what are disparate value points that can be compounded through Web3. So, it's very early stage answer, but if there's anyone else that has, identified trends at the more macro level, then would love to hear that too.
Okay. Would anyone else like to add to that? Any kind of applications in Korea or any other trends or communities that they should know about?
Yeah, so on my end, I have seen a lot of Web3 applications that are really based on remote-based work, and that's the trend I've been seeing. So yeah, and then the other side, I see even though I am seeing a lot of these remote-based applications, of course, gaming is always there since Korea is really good at that. But a lot of these companies are not really quick on to monetization. How do we earn money? So I see that is lacking when I see these applications.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe just to add on the biotech side as well, then I spoke about that just before this event. That's also something that we see being super strong out of Korea, how Web3 pretty much predominantly blockchain tech being applied on biotech innovation with emphasis on genomics.
Great.
Yeah.
As far as Web3 communities, I think it's kind of, the community is kind of, fragmented a little bit, but I'm sure some of you also belong to some communities here in Korea. Does anyone know of any major Web3 communities that you can let us know about? I'm sure there's at least a few. There's one on Telegram that I posted on today. Is anyone in that Telegram chat? All right, yeah, I know Energy's in there. Do you know of any other communities, Energy?
Hi. Yeah. Jonathan mentioned about the Web3 community here that we both belong to. I actually am working closely with them. It's Polygon Guild Korea. And actually, that's like the community that I really am active in. And we are really discovering more communities like this in order for more people to get involved and on board on Web3.
So Polygon Guild, right?
Yeah, Polygon Guild.
And how many Koreans are in there compared to foreigners? Is it pretty mixed?
It's pretty mixed. I can say it's like a 50-50, but the
50-50.
main language is like Konglish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys can join that one if you're interested. They speak Korean and they speak English as well, right?
Yeah, I can share the link later, probably.
All right. During networking time. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. This one's for Arpad. Can you discuss the differences between the Web3 in Korea versus abroad?
Yeah, I'm delighted to. We actually touched a bit upon that in the previous question. So what we see, what I see, and again, I'm coming from a more corporate and consulting lens, analyst lens, rather than an operator investor. We see Korea being very strong on Timor hit on as well, gaming, of course. Democratizing, pretty much driving or pioneering the development of P2E games and F2P games. That's one. Second is obviously on entertainment in general. I think I heard someone mention K-pop, NFTs, and so forth. That's very strong in Korea as well. The third is healthcare, and the fourth is what I said before, is biotech, with a very strong emphasis on genomic innovation, which is again based on blockchain tech. Overseas, obviously gaming is something in commonality with other markets, not as strong as Korea, but definitely something that is driving the trajectory. And overseas is also a very broad term, so I'm compartmentalized that to Western markets. What I also see, which I don't see much here, is a strong emphasis on retail, how you apply Web3's blockchain in retail to delight more in terms of customer success, allowing users or customers to track and trace products from end to end. I don't see it here, so that's something I see in other markets picking up.
Right. Okay.
Timur?
I think that was just for you. Or?
It's for anyone, but actually let's move on because for time. So next question is for Timur, and what can Korean startups learn from the other ecosystems abroad?
Yeah, that's a really good question, right? So one thing I talked about is like learning how to monetize early on is really important. The other thing I'll talk about is building a really good ecosystem is always about community and engagement. Whether if you're building a platform or like NFTs, it always comes down to people and like who isn't part of that community and how you grow that community. And that's the basis of like how you can create a really good application, either in Web3 or even in Web2.
Good. All right. We're going to kind of wrap this up really quickly, so I'm going to ask one more question to each of you, and we'll just finish it up there. So Dan, do you have a favorite Web3 startup?
Again, I have to be biased for the investment that I'm about to make, but it's called VF Protocol. It's a escrow for NFTs platform, and at the early stages, I'm looking at I was talking to the founder, who is a fellow GM on my previous startup, but he's identified a way to directly address the transaction issues, understand how to monetize through yields, and then address the scalability of across different fintech B2B models. So that would be my short answer.
Any other answers from you guys for that one? Just favorite Web3 startup, just like 10 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm going to be biased since I work at Upland. Upland is my favorite one. In terms of Korea, I don't have one. Hopefully, I will find one today.
Maybe today after the startups
Exactly.
pitch, we'll all have a favorite startup. Okay. Next question, Arpad. Is it easier for startups to attract investment from a Web3 viewpoint if they actually are implementing Web3? Is that easier or more difficult?
Okay, I'm going to answer this from our CVC lens, and also in addition to what I said before as part of my introduction, I've been on the buyer side, been on the seller side with respect to startup scale-ups, very active in the VC community in Southeast Asia. No, I wouldn't say it's easier. I would say it's as challenging to raise money and get investor, whether it's Web3 or not. So the key is, and I will get back to what the right question should be. The key is, as any business that you start, what is that problem that you want to solve, and is that problem scalable, and are people willing to pay for the service that you bring to the market? I mean, those are the fundamentals for everything that you do, whether it's Web3 or not. I would say the right question is whether there's more capital deployment into Web3 tech and Web3 adventures today, and is it a positive trajectory? Then the answer is yes. If you're looking back to 2020, you had globally about $5 billion US being deployed into Web3 ventures. That number went up to 30.5 in 2021. And with the trajectory that I have seen the first 2 quarters for 2022 and extrapolate that to the next 2 quarters, we're going to land at about 36.6, sniffing $37 billion. So it's a strong positive growth trajectory in terms of capital being deployed into Web3. Okay. That should be the question, in my opinion. Right? So investors are investing. Yeah.
Okay, great. And the final question is for Timur. But before I ask, how many of you in the audience have ever started your own startup? Previous founders or current founders as well? Okay. How many of you are interested to do your own startup? Okay, so a lot of you, right? So this question, for the people interested in starting their own startup, specifically Web3, how can they get started? How can they think of a good idea?
I think, I used to tell people being unique is really important, but I think in Korea, one thing we do really well is being a fast follower. Find stuff that's working overseas and copy it really well. See what you could do a little bit differently. But being a good copier is an art in itself, and that should help a lot.
Okay, you want to say something as well?
Yeah, and I'm actually challenging that, because what I see from Korea is not the copy with pride, the rocket internet model. I see actually a lot of genuine, authentic innovation being born out of Korea. My advice would be, if you want to start something, don't think too much about startup. You're starting a business, whether that a tech-enabled product or tech startup or a moms and pops, you're selling chicken, whatever. It's a business. You're starting a business. And you need 2 type of personas. One, super strong entrepreneur, hustler. Though I don't like the term hustler, but entrepreneur, persistent, have that grit, have the drive. And if it's a tech-oriented company, then you need to have a damn good CTO. I would say that. Yeah.
I'll add to that. I think I agree. There's a lot of good talent and innovation opportunities, and also a close-knit network in Korea. One of the things that Cameron, the founder of VF Protocol, did was he actually started a newsletter around his exploration, and then that turned into a white paper. So during that process, I saw him understand the technical elements. I saw him how he networked with other founders and community members, and I think that's a good starting point that I would recommend.
All right. Thank you to all the judges. So if we can give them a round of applause. You guys can go ahead and get seated. And by the way, if you have questions for them, stay until the networking time, and you can ask them one-on-one as well. All right. So I think we'll need to move these chairs. Yeah, okay. By the way, I actually forgot to introduce myself. I'm Jonathan Moore, and I'm Chief Innovation Officer at PowerPT. So once again, thank you for coming. Sorry for the people who don't really have much space in the back there, but we did turn on the AC. I know it's a little bit warm in here, all right? And if you guys need to, go to the bathroom, that's fine. That's all good. Okay, so we are going to start our first pitch. Boom, there we go. So our first pitch is Nightingale Interactive, and we have Elliot to pitch. So Elliot, please welcome. Let's give him a round of applause. Oh, and before you get started, the timer is right here. Okay. So if you need to look at the time, please look over here. All right?
I see. Thank you for introduction. Let me introduce myself a little bit later. You can just see me as nervous guy right now. So, Web3 game, or blockchain gaming, it has so much potential, but not much stability. In the Web 2 era, most game companies could mainly focus on making fun games. But in the Web 3, it is no longer just about making fun games. It's much more about economy focused. Most Web3 gamers are eager to make money by playing games and see it as a type of labor instead of entertainment. So we began our project with this purpose in mind, how to let our users to consistently earn money by playing our game. All right, so before I continue, allow me to highlight what we have achieved so far. Sheep Farm is a Web3 gaming project that debuted last year. It is an upcycling project of the original game called Sheep Farm in Sugarland, which was released roughly 10 years ago as a web mobile social network game. Since we already own the original assets of the game, so we could progress faster than any other similar project in Korea. So, to get back to the point, most Web3 games are unsustainable due to inflation problem. As you may notice, even Axie Infinity, one of the industry's leading projects, has seen their token price plummet drastically. So what are we going to do to deal with this? We are trying to address this problem by shifting our focus from attracting investors to attracting gamers. It's simple, but not easy. We initially developed our game as a sheep farming simulator, which was effective attracting investors. However, if everyone only tries to earn from our game, it is obvious that it wouldn't be sustainable. This is why we've added an extra ingredient to the mix. So we are currently developing a new component to balance our gaming ecosystem. It is inspired by real-world horse racing, where people can bet to earn, which means there's no guaranteed profit. The main goal of this feature is attracting more gamers who is willing to take risks in exchange for a high return. In conclusion, to create balance in our game, we are constructing an ecosystem consisting of investors and gamers. In this way, different player groups will be able to enjoy a unified gaming experience where each will benefit from the other. Right, last year, October, we could see Axie Infinity climb to the top 5 gaming companies with its market cap. I think it shows that the era of Web 2 in gaming industry coming to an end. We consider Web 3 game is the future of gaming, which implies that the entire gaming market will be our total addressable market. As of right now, we will focus on our service obtainable market, how and where users may access blockchain games, which means they have crypto wallet. Here's our team, and let me introduce myself as well. I'm CPO of this project. 10 years ago, I was in party games, and I could experience the previous paradigm shift from the PC online games to mobile games. At the time, I learned that time to market is the most important factor when facing a new paradigm. And this time around, I think we could be fast enough thanks to our legacy work and experience as veteran player in this industry. Right, so our complete ecosystem, including ship racing, will be available by the end of this month. There it is. After ensuring that our ecosystem functions as intended, we will put our efforts on marketing as well as the product itself. So we have expansion plan for other blockchains and other markets like locals. So for business model, like other cryptocurrency-based projects, we have our own cryptocurrency, which is called Nightingale token. And the selling of our token will be the main source of our revenue. However, we will not only rely on the sale of tokens, but also on the purchase of in-game items using stable coins, which is more likely to fiat currency. So this will allow us to maintain our service and even the company without being too much impacted the market situation. All right, it's done. We are ready to set sail and waiting for the wind to come. I believe the current market situation, economic downturn, will restore itself eventually. So join us, our journey to the world of sustainable Web3 gaming. Thank you.
All right. So at Podium Star, we don't have a normal Q&A. Instead, we have feedback from the judges. So we're now going to hear positive and constructive feedback on how to improve your pitch for next time. Let's start with Dan first.
Yeah, what I liked about your slide and presentation, it did a really good job of understanding like the gaming ecosystem to use as proxies for how you would position what you're building. The one thing I like the time to market concept too. I mean, the focus on there, I clearly get. Would love to see like what the incentive structure is and how the specific community build, like how you would iterate on the community build.
Okay, you don't have to answer it, it's just feedback, right? Okay, Timur?
Yeah, I definitely loved it. I'm really looking forward to playing this game. One thing I would agree with you on is when you mentioned Axie Infinity, right? Like when economy is going great, everyone's investing, right? Like the coins are rising, right? And great, like now Sandbox people are happy, Decentraland is happy, people in Axie Infinity is happy. But when it's not doing good, right, it really affects it. And you mentioned that point really well. And one thing Upland did really well is that we had a closed economy and our coins were really closed. And you were solving that really well by having a multi-token based economy. So I love that about it. One thing I do wish you had more is more product pictures to see how the game would have looked. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, that's all the time we have for the Q&A, so feedback session. Thank you very much. And thank you, Elliot. Our next startup, we have Energy from Starwings. Let's welcome him.
Yay. Mic test. Hi. Web3 is our future. Paradigm shift is happening. Hi, Energy Kim from Starwings. I will keep the slides very briefly. I'm happy to answer with my appendix afterwards. Web3. I talked about Web3. Everyone here knows about Web3. However, we all know that next generation of internet and our daily economy is going to be very influenced by Web3 as well. For many, the metaverse, NFTs, Web3, cryptocurrency, it's all difficult. It feels something alien. It feels something like from another dimension. They simply don't understand. This makes it freaking difficult for everyone to get on board in Web3. When we talk about business aspect of, most of the companies, they are having problem getting their user base. They struggle to find enough users in order for them to actually make their business profitable. What we need is a way that makes learning about Web3 simple and fun. We, Starwings, propose an easy-to-use mobile application, Go to Earn. A fun first step for anyone entering the Web3. Our interactive augmented reality characters, I will show later, are helping everyone to play without any technical skills or blockchain-related technology needed. Users play because it's fun. They also earn rewards without knowing that they are getting crash introduction into metaverse and NFTs. And additionally, we are operating 2 more services, generating income flow. First is the offline XR media art gallery located in Gangnam. Second is our unique and the only augmented reality NFT marketplace. We compared the Go to Earn service with our current and existing, potential and existing competitors, and Starwings outstands the competition with distinguished edges. For the market size, the mobile advertising market is the TAM that we illustrated here. Upon experiencing the growing market demand by ourselves, we are humbly penetrating at $50 billion for global mobile SNS application. The business model, as introduced, we operate a user-friendly mobile application, right? So we earn from the advertisers and the corporates. We do not charge anything to our users. Advertisers, they subscribe with different price plans. They do that so for their brand customized augmented reality characters that is going to be functioning within our service. And as mentioned, we are having our backing up income from our 2 products. And yeah, as you know, like every business is either Web 2 or Web 3, attracting customers is the main key. And we onboard users using the 3 main parts: the physical metaverse infrastructure that we operate with our partner companies, augmented reality creation with partnering up with famous IPs worldwide, and our service. The pop-up app is the name of the Go to Earn service that we have. Current traction is as follows. Namely, as mentioned earlier, we're actively engaged in social communities, Web3 communities here in Korea, Polygon Guild. We're doing some virtual gallery collaborations with different protocols. The milestones: since the establishment of Gallery XR, we're about to launch our beta service. I myself, as a CBDO of the company, we are really seeing an harmonious relationship building our vision. We are currently raising 600K at 10 million valuation to accelerate our Go to Earn market. Yes, due to a little lack of time, I will be glad to answer and get more feedbacks from you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Energy. And now let's hear from the judges. So let's start on this side with Timur.
Good job. I think one thing I love about you is like you do a really good job being memorable, even you had slides that look like Web 1.0. So good job there, really easy to understand. One thing I would mention, like when you talked about traction, you never mentioned any numbers. You kind of left for people to read it. So I wish you would have talked about that. Besides that, yeah, good.
Thank you.
Okay, Arpad?
Yeah, I would concur. Yeah, good job. I think you need to sharpen up your presentation to be honest, and also your connection with the audience. Just some feedback on that. And I'm being totally honest. I told this to Jonathan that I'm just gonna give transparent feedback. I do not really understand what you guys trying to achieve in terms of what you're gonna focus on. What you listed in terms of services is huge. So I'm not sure how you guys gonna be able to crack that and scale that. That's one. So you should focus on what you're gonna be. What's gonna be your hyper-focused service? Because you're competing on a lot and with a lot of very established players already.
Right.
That's one. The second is also on traction. Like the 50,000 customers you have. What are those? Like, what's the definition of those customers? I think that would be good to understand. And also how much money you're making now. You never mentioned that. You just mentioned your obtainable market size, but not much on traction with respect to the money itself. So I will stop there. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we have a little time left for Dan.
Great energy, pun intended.
Thank you.
No, I love the fact that you've identified, there needs to be a bigger need for education from the transition from Web 2 to Web 3. Also like the fact that you're focused on implementation to the edge device cases, because obviously that probably increases the market size that you guys can position. The only feedback, the other feedback is well, you talked about B2B. Would love to understand, what type of companies have you talked to in more granular detail, and what's the feedback you guys have received, so that you can think about the product roadmaps as well.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you one more time.
Thank you. That is all the appendix. I'm sorry. There you go.
Yeah. All right, our next startup, we have Tyler representing InnovoBlock. So please welcome Tyler.
In 2019, the humanity found itself in the middle of a pandemic. Even though the restrictions almost disappeared, the virus hasn't. Now, there is monkeypox and warnings that we will live through more pandemics in our lifetime. COVID-19 exposed a lot of the problems that the current prescription process has. As a patient, I experienced it all firsthand. Unsafe, time-consuming, and costly. The prescription process from start to end is chaotic. Patients have to hand in paper prescriptions. They can't access their prescription drug history, and they can't easily and safely request refills. For pharmacies and doctors, the situation isn't much better. Unnecessary interactions with sick individuals, costly machines, more staff, and barcode scanner compatibility issues. These are just few consequences of the current prescription process that has not changed for decades of living in a digital era. I'm Tyler Sahib, the founder of InnovoBlock. We utilize blockchain to secure and add indisputable trust to a platform solution that fully digitizes the prescription, issuance, delivery, and everything in between, which allows patients and providers achieve optimal convenience, efficiency, and cost reduction by introducing features such as electronic prescription delivery, access to prescription history, and allowing electronic refills. This is just a high-level overview of our current system that's currently being patented. The process starts at the doctor's office when the patient checks in. When the visit actually is over, the doctor will prescribe an electronic prescription that can then be delivered to the pharmacy. Once the prescription is issued, it can be delivered either by the patient or directly through the doctor. The prescription will go through multiple steps that ensure the satisfaction of the patient and the pharmacy. Blockchain-backed security, electronic prescription delivery, and electronic refills are just a few of the areas where we lead our competitors. Blockchain and cloud health IT is worth around $300 billion globally. We anticipate a market share of around $180 million in Korea. You may ask yourself, how are they going to make money? We will charge healthcare providers depending on their prescription plan. We'll make money through ads, but we'll offer it free of charge to patients. Our marketing plan includes collecting leads, running measured marketing campaigns, and raising awareness. As you can see, we've gone through a lot of critical steps in our journey and reached the milestone of development. We've submitted a patent application, we've completed the system design, and we've done a very good job and thorough in market validation. This is the team that steers the wheel with commitment. Sarah has an extensive experience in healthcare business development with Yale University Hospital. I also have over 12 years of experience in cybersecurity and software development. A big chunk of that is in healthcare. I also worked on a healthcare software in the US that obtained FDA's approval. What are we asking for? We're asking for funding for 18 months to accelerate development and reach the market quickly. We're also looking for partnerships with others in the industry. Join us to revolutionize healthcare. Thank you for listening.
All right, now we have the feedback session, so you can stay up here, Tyler, for this part. Don't go yet. Let's start with Dan this time.
Thanks, Tyler. No, it was great. I love the energy and the way you talk about the identified market inefficiencies. As you were going along, I think my question was like, hey, there's different types of prescriptions, so I'd love to understand how you've codified the difference in the tiers, and then how you want to build the moats as you go into market. And also with prescriptions, there's also like systems that take in effect. I'm sure that's part of the identified market inefficiencies. So we would have loved to understand what are the system pain points that this is going to be addressing as well.
Okay, Arpad?
Yeah, I concur with Dan. Love the energy, good precision. I mean, I love this space too, so I'm very passionate about what you do. This is what I'm calling innovation or tech for good. So I'm happy to see that. Just to add to what Dan said, on the validation, I think it would be good to also understand what specific validations that you guys have done, and be very, very crisp about that. That's the only add-on I had. Otherwise, yeah, well done.
Thank you. And Timur?
Yeah, I agree with the other judges. I think you had a great presentation. You are solving a problem that's really well needed, not only here, but in the States as well. One thing I would say is a little bit focusing more on how you'll monetize. That needs to be looked very well into. I don't think advertising is a really great route, but really focusing on how you can really monetize.
All right, thank you for the judges, and thank you one more time to Tyler. Okay, we're halfway done. Great. All right, our next speaker is Guillaume, and he represents Funders Guild. So please welcome Guillaume to the stage.
Hi, everybody. When working in VC, we realized that traditional startup investment kind of terrible. They take years to liquidate, which affects your risks, your returns, your control. On top of that, they are limited to very select few. On the other side, we have startup founders who often spend 2 full-time months on fundraising alone instead of focusing on their product. This is because fundraising is time-consuming. It's tedious, and it has a limited reach. But no more. I'm Guillaume from Founders Guild, and we facilitate and create liquidity through smart contract for startup investments through smart contract to reduce risk and maximize returns. So the way it works is thanks to NFTs and syndicates, which is a type of investment fund investing only into one startup. So when a fundraising happens, we, Founders Guild, raise money into the syndicates by selling NFTs, which each represent one share of the syndicates. Then the syndicates make a direct investment into the company, and in exchange, receives and keep the startup equity. We're able to run this kind of structures many times, enabling us to become a marketplace where we can create and manage your own startup investment portfolio. This kind of structure also makes it possible for investors to divest, sell, and trade the NFTs whenever they want. And this without impacting the health of the startup whatsoever. Also, since we can organize entire funding rounds and with very large investor pool on our own platform, it becomes much less troublesome for startup founders. At the same time, NFT investments bring tremendous advantages to investors. They are highly liquid, making it, again, possible to divest anytime to achieve faster returns and keep risks under control. At the same time, we can bring even more investors by providing a convenient fund structure. And since they are generally backed by startup equity, they are much less volatile. And this is where we make money. Each time an NFT is purchased, traded, or redeemed during a liquidity event, we receive 3% of its value, which is tied to the value of the startup equity. We mainly target investors who would bring their own investments onto our platform, such as VCs, angels, corporates, accelerators, even retail investors, so that they could invest, which brings our total addressable market right around $3 billion USD. We are currently the only investment platform offering both liquid ownership and cash investments into startups, making it very convenient for both startups and investors alike. Founders Guild is a Korean fintech spin-off of Founders Layer, an innovation sourcing company with a wide-reaching network of VCs, ACs, and corporates all around the world. Network that we fully intend to leverage in order to reach out to outstanding startups and investors. We've made huge progress so far since our creation 3 months ago. We released our MVP, and we got accepted into a Korean incubator. We'll be facilitating 2 Korean investments of totaling $250,000 US dollars in the next month. We are also expecting to facilitate 10 investments in the next 6 months and 40 in a year. We're a team of 3 with backgrounds in venture capital, strategy consulting, innovation management, and tech, which really puts us in an ideal situation to carry out these projects. We are currently looking to raise $50,000 on our own platform to facilitate more and bigger investments and bring even more liquidity. So please, scan the QR code and join the guild. let's enter this adventure together. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Guillaume. And let's start with Timur first on this side.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting because I've run syndicates before and I've invested in syndicates before. I think it would be really good to look at how it really runs when you work. You know, I think your first one is probably going to be your test pilot. But looking forward to when that happens. But really interesting idea.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Arpad.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. Super interesting. Very to the point, very crisp as well. The only feedback I will give in terms of your pitch deck and also clarity to an audience is your MVP, since you mentioned MVP. So the scope of that, if there's any initial data on the MVP, that would be really interesting to see. Yeah. I'm super excited. Personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heat on that.
Great presentation. Love the clear value proposition with the user journey simply mapped out. It was very easy to follow you. The only thing that I wanted to know more about is how your team will be identifying the regulatory risks. And
that's very market specific.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So with that's the only feedback that I have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you from the judges, and thank you one more time, Guillaume.
Yeah.
Let's
Thank
give
you
a
very
round of
much.
applause. And we're going to keep moving on. Our next speaker is Yoon Sok from Want2. So please welcome Yoon Sok to the stage.
How many of you dreamed of being a YouTuber? I know, I was one of them. And I also was jealous about them making a lot of money and enjoying their life just by uploading fun content. But the fact is, it's a lot harder than you think because content creators are not really paid enough for what they deserve. You might be shocked to show that 46% of the content creators on YouTube only get less than $1,000 per year. And it takes about 1 million views for TikTokers to get only $35. And this lady spent her 6 years on YouTube to get just under $300. It's sad, right? So the problem is the high quality content video is really expensive and really time consuming. Beginner content creators don't have enough money for making a great content, and it's more profitable to upload low-quality video every day than uploading a high-quality video once a month. So there leads to tons of low-quality video contents are being uploaded, and they are looking for hatred, issues, and sexual and violent contents to get attention. And that actually leads to discouraged creators, and they would quit making videos. So it's really sad that we are now. So we should come up with new ideas to help these creators to create a great content. That's how I want to start it. Content creator would upload the content video before making an actual video. They upload the teaser video about the contents they actually want to produce. Ordinary fans and viewers view their teaser videos to invest, and their investments will be their investors will also get shares from the profits. The content creators even get feedback even before they produce their contents, so they can decide whether to go for the project or not. With the fractional investment, content creators would upload the teaser video, and investors would invest on the tokenized blockchain. All of their investment will be securely and transparently recorded on the blockchain. And you only need $1 to start investment. And as the content actually makes money, the content creators and the shareholders will share the profits as the content grows. And content creators and investors will promote the contents so that they can maximize the contents from the profits. There are some services that actually provide help content creators. but only one to share the profits with them. Now, many of them actually share the profits. They're usually just the donations. We are dealing with a creator economy of 104 billion market in total, and it's actually growing really fast at 18% of growth rate. And as a bottom-up market guess, we expect our 1-2 market will be around million investors would invest $100. So we expect $100 million per annually, the market is. Our business model is really simple. We take only 10% of the commission of each transactions, and we average investment will be around $1,000 per content. To expand our service, we would ask our content creators to upload teaser on both TikTok and YouTube so that their fans can invest through the one-two. And we're also working on a partnership with our MCNs so that they can connect with our other creators on their network. So we already have some tractions for famous YouTubers on our waitlist, and we expect that they have already about 1 million potential investors are waiting. And we also have some positive feedback from our global MCNs that we offer to cooperate with. I'm also a YouTuber and had a YouTube channel, so we have a strong background in Create Network and also participated in making a YouTube Create. In 2012, most popular contents on YouTube called Money Game, which has 8 to 10 million views per episode. Though it has so many views, the project was a total loss. So there's no season 2 out because of that. And also I was one of the co-founders and CTO of one NFT startup that raised pre-seed round, and we got backed by famous VCs in Korea. So I would say we got very strong content creator and serial entrepreneurs who has very strong background in AI and blockchain.
So I'm sorry, but time is now up, so we have to finish right now. Thank you very much for your pitch. And now let's hear from the judges. So Dan, do you want to start this round?
Sure. No, love the storytelling, and I'm sure as you iterate, you'll find even more creative ways to make it more fun. The only feedback I have, and mind you that I'm coming from media, so I would love to understand, is you've identified the data from the problem and then drilling into how you're developing the solution. So what does that initial teaser lead to as far as data goes, as far as the view data, the click data, and then the monetization data, and how does that cascade into the long-term growth of that content piece? So that's just a question that I had as you were explaining that.
Also, actually,
no need to answer it, just the comments. We can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Timur, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, great job getting the audience attention. I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I've looked into this space quite a lot, and I think there's something there, and I think you'll eventually pivot into it. But besides that, I think we will see once you get a little bit further along on how this model works out.
All right. Thank you very much. Yoon-suk.
Thank you very much.
All right. And now we have our last pitch of the day, least but not last. And we have John coming from Satoshi Dance. So please welcome John to the stage.
Hi, guys. Should we start? Okay. Hi, I'm building Raver, a Web3 social app for live music fans. So there are 3 big problems in live music. Firstly, price. Price of festival tickets has been increasing for 50 times over the last 3 decades. And ticketing remains still a very, very frustrating experience for most fans. The bigger problem here is that most of the data are collected and captured by the ticketing agencies, and this is not being shared with any of the producers, creators, or artists, which makes it really, really difficult to create a community around a single event. Now we are building this app which allows fans to earn tokens by participating at these events, and they can save money when booking tickets by using tokens, and also connect instantly with the users, and also have a chance to give back to the community, actually. And we're using a Web3 value share model that's been proven to be very, very successful in go-to-market by Axie and Steppen with very unremarkable gameplay and utility. So we are hoping to do the same through a network effect using Web3. And right now we have a 100% partner conversion rate, meaning that everyone that we have spoken to on a B2B side have sort of signed up with us or to work together. So we have 4 major festivals across Asia that are trying to work with us. So we have top 20 clubs in Korea that are ready to onboard our app, and we have 3 international concert promoters going to using our app at their events. During our alpha test in August, we have managed to gain over 12,000 people in our Discord. And on our very, very first campaign, with zero knowledge of our app or our brand whatsoever, we've managed to gain 52% conversion rate on our app downloads. When you look at concert market or any music market, it really is a super big market. It serves about 500 million people, and it is the largest market in music industry. And this is a perfect time to actually enter this market. With the end of the pandemic, Goldman Sachs is actually predicting that the market is going to grow 4 times over the next 2 years. There are competitors in the market, but the biggest difference between us and the competition is that most of them are focusing on reinventing or revolutionizing tickets, meaning that they are issuing NFT tickets, but they are not really focusing on how they want to give the value back to the community or the users. So we are leveraging gamify and social file features to do that. This is our product. It's built for Web2 normies, so they don't have to have any knowledge about Web3 whatsoever to use the app. So everything is done on the app as you might use any of the Web2 apps. During game mode, what happens is that we track their GPS location, and we track their sound levels around them, and we also track their movement to prevent any of the abuses in token earnings. And obviously, we are starting in Korea for the very purpose of leveraging Korea content's huge fandom across the globe. And we will venture into Southeast Asia, then Greater China, and the US. Our business model is pretty simple. Most of our revenue will come from NFT sales, which is work as a sort of a membership fee. You can think of it as Costco memberships. And another big portion will be sort of the network fee that we charge for every ticket that's sold on our app. And we have assembled a pretty amazing team. So among us, we have hosted concerts and festivals that has accumulated attendance of 1.3 million people. And we have amazing CTO who has built one of the largest social apps in Korea called Line Band with a 20 million MAU. That's larger than Instagram, which is pretty amazing. So I am a serial entrepreneur and an ex-VC. So I used to invest in a whole bunch of early stage startups. And Hank comes from Line, and he's a full stack engineer with 15 years of experience. And Baskin is our blockchain lead, and he's one of the leaders in the dev community called Nons. It is the largest crypto dev community in Korea. And we have Peanuts, who is our partnership lead, and he's a professional festival DJ, as well as a producer of #1 hit single called Way Back Home by Sean. And he also runs one of the largest EDM labels in Korea. And we are raising our seed fund right now, and we're raising about $3 million US. So if you are interested in revolutionizing music and giving music back to the people, please contact us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's hear from the judges. Who would like to go first? All right, Dan, you've been selected.
Yeah, sure. No, I think you do a really good job of using the comparative lens to kind of contextualize your content. Would have loved to see a user profile, because I think your platform, if I understand correctly, is also to increase retention of the use, right? And so yeah, would have loved to just understand at a single user level what that is visualized on.
Yeah.
We could discuss more later.
Yeah, I would like to be part of that too. No, I mean, I think it's great, spot on. I loved it. I got goosebumps. I have strong passion for music and live events. I see also there's synergies between you and some folks I know in Indonesia. There's some companies that do a bit of similar stuff in Indo. So happy to talk about that too. In terms of feedback, yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to say apart from what you said, and I think I would say it's super clear. Also, how we're going to monetize. The B model is simple. I think you have a bright future, because I've seen some data points as well on the live event space. So yeah, super excited.
Thank you.
Timur.
Finally from Timur.
Yeah, I love the branding. I think everything was on point. You presented the attraction slide really well. I've ran influencer, how do you say, events in the past. So I know how the ticketing problem is an issue and how you're really solving it. So good job on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's give him one more round of applause. All right, so that is it for the startups pitching. Now it's your turn. You have to do the next thing here. So let me show you what we have here. Oh, I guess that's your appendix. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. All right, it's voting time. This is only open for 5 minutes, starting right now. Use your phone, go to www.menti.com, enter this 8-digit code, 4577-4813. You can vote up to 2 startups. You can choose 1, but if you really like 2 and it's difficult, you can choose 2. All right? And remember, you make up 25% of the vote today. By the way, once you finish voting, please just stay here. You can talk, that's fine. Don't be awkward and quiet. You can talk, but we will have the giveaway right after. Okay, so in about 5 minutes, we will give away a lot of cool prizes, and I think Hije is going to help do that maybe, right? Okay, great. All right, then I will see you guys in about 5 minutes or so. If the judges can please join me with your forms. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that session. All right, thank you for that. All right. All right. Oh goodness, this is kind of nervous. It was apparently was very close. I don't know who the winner is, but we are about to find out. So if we can get the winner announcement, please. Please bring it up, okay? Thank you very much. This is from Jungkook Lee. He's also conducts Podium Star in the Korean version. So whenever we do Podium Star in Korean, he is the host. He's amazing. All right. So I told it was a tie, but there was a tiebreaker that had to be done behind the doors by the judges. So, and by the way, for that tiebreaker, since it was so close, we still have a number one. Okay, we have a clear one, but if that person cannot join Draper University, number two will go instead. All right. Okay. So I'm going to announce 3 prizes. So in third place, and we have a bottle of wine for you, by the way. In third place, oh, sorry, judges, can you come up here first? Yes. I'm trying to make this, just kidding. All right. All right. Go ahead and just go down a little bit. All right, in third place, we have 1-2. 1-2, please come up. And Doyeon or Hee-jae, are you giving them wine, or are you just going to sit there? Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, congratulations, 1-2. In second place, which is very close, we have Funders Guild. And we have wine for you as well. Congratulations. And if you can get the winner stuff ready. Okay, in first place, it was very close, like I said. Satoshi Dance. All right, and please, we have the golden ticket here for Satoshi Dance. So this golden ticket allows him to go to Draper University. He gets a $12,000 ticket to join that program. By the way, all the startups did great. You guys, please come up on stage as well. All the startups. This is difficult, coming on stage and pitching, right? And if this was any other day, it could be slightly different. So congratulations to all the startups. Can we give them one more round of applause? Come down more. All right, and by the way, they're all winners because we started with, 15 startups, and we had round 1 behind the scenes. So you didn't see round 1. These are all the winners from round 1 and rounds 2. There was actually 2 rounds before. This is round 3. So everyone here is a winner. Congratulations to all of you. And now we're going to take a photo. All right, so we're going to take a photo now. And by the way, pizza is coming. I heard it's either here or almost here. So whenever we start smelling it, I think it's there. So once we take the photo, please, guys, you're here to network. So use LinkedIn, connect with all these great startups and these judges as well. I'm happy to connect with you as well. And if you want to join other Podium Star events, go to our website, podiumstar.org. You can subscribe to our newsletter. You can follow us on LinkedIn at PowerPT. And we hope to see you at future events. Thank you one more time for coming, and now we're going to take a photo. All right. Everyone else, you guys, you don't have to watch this. I know it's pretty awkward. You can stand up and start networking right now. I think there's pizza already right here. So go ahead and start.